Hey, it's Camo with the primetime edition of the Nashville Access Facebook show. This is our first kind of post-CMA show. You may see it weeks down the road, but this is the first one after CMA. So everybody's a little burned out from a very busy weekend here in Nashville. But we've got a great guest today, and I think you're really going to like him. If you're familiar with the band Three Doors Down, you'll know him as the guy playing four strings, the bass player Justin Biltonen. Come on in, man.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. You've got your own country career going now, or you're really building it now.
Yeah.
This was your first CMA Fest this year?
Yeah. I've been to a lot of them. Just from living here, it was the first time I actually got to play.
Yeah.
Something downtown, which was really exciting.
How different is that from, the band gig where you've got all these guys that you're just part of the band and you do what you're told?
Yeah.
To actually being the guy in front and saying, this is my show.
It's, both of them are exciting, but this is really exciting. It's just me and a guitar.
Yeah.
And it's all my songs that I wrote. So, I don't know, it's exciting, it's fun. I get to sing, kind of jam around.
Now, you moved to Nashville 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Originally from outside of Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
So not too far from here.
And now Three Doors Down based here?
Yeah, everybody, we live around town.
Oh, that's great.
Singer lives out in Murfreesboro, and then we got our two guitar players and drummer live out in Hendersonville.
Seems like a lot of the rock bands are guys that are living here now. It's just because of the musical community. And,
Great place to live.
yeah. So what made you want to go into the country side of things?
It's kind of something I've always done. Growing up in North Carolina, it's like we listened to a lot of country, so it was always around. Growing up, my dad always sang and played, and like we had it on the radio all the time. So definitely grew up with it, especially in the '90s, like Brooks and Dunn. And
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
those
if you're going to
amazing
rep anything
music.
from the 90s.
Yeah. So I guess around high school, I kind of got out and started listening more rock and got like rebellious and started like listening to a lot of different other stuff. And as soon as I turned 18, I started touring in a rock band that I'd started with some guys back home.
Yeah.
And around like probably about 20 is when I really got back into country. Because I was, driving at 2 in the morning in a van, and that's what I wanted to listen to. That's what I identified with, was like putting on Waylon Jennings and stuff, and going back and listening to stuff that I'd kind of grown up with, and then starting to get into what was coming out on the radio, like Dirk Spindley and Jason Aldean and all those guys that were coming out on the radio, kind of refired that passion for it. So fast forward a couple of years, we've been coming to Nashville a bunch. I met a writer named James House.
Oh, James is great.
Yeah. And he's
been
like,
out here a couple times.
oh, very cool. Yeah, he kind of took me under his wing for a little while and showed me the ropes in Nashville writing. And we wrote a bunch of great songs for over a year. I was coming over here and jamming and writing with him, and that really kind of lit that fire. So
If you're going to hang with a writer, James is the guy.
Yeah.
He's had so many hits.
yeah, he taught me a lot. So
Yeah. And he's still evolving. I mean, his new blues album is killer.
it's really good.
It's excellent.
Pretty sure he just did a bunch of stuff with Joe Bonamassa.
Yeah, he's been writing with Bonamassa for years.
Crazy.
Yeah, yeah. They rent an island in Greece to go write.
Of course. Where's my invite?
Yeah, yeah. Have a line of people looking forward. Is it so? Three Doors Down has got kind of a light year this year.
Yeah.
So this is allowing you to really build your.
Yeah, and the tour schedule in general with the band's different than it was when they first started, where they were doing like 260 days a year, and we're out on the road for months, and we'll still do like 2 or 3 months at a time. It's kind of off, but
To be out on the road like it was, it's just out there.
But everybody's got families now, so they want time home, and it works out great because I can come home and keep writing and keep up all the contacts that I have and keep working on what I'm doing with this. So
is it hard? I mean, one thing you said was about listening to other kinds of music and that, and I think some of the best artists are ones that listen to everything.
mm-hmm.
To listen to one thing only, it just, I don't know how people can do that.
Yeah, it changes with my moods.
Yeah. But is it different as an artist making that transition from another genre and then trying to break into, from rock into country and trying to break into all the country connections and that kind of stuff? Is that a difficult thing?
I haven't really found it to be difficult yet. I mean, it's still difficult to do anything in this industry, but for the most part, like coming from Three Doors and stuff in the bands, like a lot of other people who play in country are coming from rock as well.
Yeah.
Like at least the players. So there's a connection there. People love Three Doors, like they love the sound. So it's like, oh, cool, like playing that band, like let's hear what you're doing.
A lot of Three Door stuff kind of could fit into.
Oh yeah, if it came out now, it'd probably on country radio.
Where it was kind of the post-grunge stuff back in the 90s. Yeah. Do you bring any of that sensibility to what you're doing? Because being a touring rock artist is a lot different than being a touring country artist.
Yeah.
Do you bring any of that stuff, the experience you picked up in that, to what you're doing?
I think so. I think that I guess a little bit of that kind of rock and roll attitude was, especially like the way I used to do it before I was even in Three Doors. It was in a band, it was no money, it was just playing because we loved it.
Yeah.
So there's like this kind of DIY punk rock mentality. I've kind of carried over into this too. Like the songs that I put out, like I do it because I love them. So all 4 of the songs that I've released over the span of this year are songs that I love and I'm really proud of, and people have liked them too. So that's exciting, but I'm not like totally focused on, I need a #1 hit on country radio right now. I need to sound just like this. I'm like,
well, and country radio in general isn't the end all and be all for artists now, because of the socials and Spotify and all the streaming services. It's getting onto those key playlists and getting discovered by people.
There's a million other routes to go, and there's a lot of people out there that don't listen to country radio who still like music that has that kind of country Americana vibe. Yeah. So, or even like with the classic rock stuff, like there's a market for all of it.
Yeah, and the borders between different genres of music are just falling. You like what you like, and almost with radio, it's like, well, this is the country box you need to fit into as well. I want to listen to other stuff too.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the main thing that I've brought into it. Is just I'm gonna put out songs I like. Grace of God, if for some reason it's a huge #1 hit, that would be awesome. But also, like, I'm just happy that people enjoy it that are listening to it. So, if you like it, that makes me happy. If you don't, then go listen to something you do like. I don't know.
It's the best way to look at it. You want to do a song for us?
Oh, sure, yeah.
You just happen to bring a guitar, so
I just happen to. How many songs do you guys usually do?
We get a couple. We'll talk after this. And
cool. I'll do the first one that I put out.
All right, cool.
It's called the song's called "I Use You." I wrote it with my buddy Todd Hancock, who plays for a country group called Adair's Run.
Oh yeah, they're a great band.
Great band, great guys. I actually played bass with them whenever they need somebody to fill in. I'm playing with them in New York as soon as we get home this weekend. We're opening for Eli Young Band with them. So
we have 2 of the guys from Adair's Run here before.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome. Yeah, they're great guys, good friends. I wrote this with Todd, and it's called "Easier." I could use a tank of gas on an open road, headlights pointing where I need to go, but that ain't where I'm going. I could use an open tab, drink 'em down real slow, with all my friends to just say no when you call me up on the telephone. But that ain't how this goes. I'm doing what I do every time you hit me up at 3 a.m. on a Friday night. 'Cause you just know I'm in my truck when you hear my voice on the other line. I give it every time, even though I know this love's a lie.
I don't need one drink just to tell the truth. I could use you using me. I could use your best friend to tell me you don't feel the same. Hell, it's over too, but we both know that never works. I could use a good book and a strong verse, so I ain't tempted by your words. But there ain't no bar stools in a church. That's how you got me, girl. Just doing what I do every time you hit me up 3 a.m. on a Friday night. Cause you just know I'm in my truck. When you hear my voice on the other line, I give it every time, even though I know this love's a lie. But I don't need one drink just to tell the truth. I could use you using me. I could use a tank of gas on an open road, and headlights pointing where I need to go. But I'm just doing what I do every time you hit me up 3 a.m. on a Friday night. Cause you just know I'm in my truck. You hear my voice on the other line, I get it every time, even though I know this love's a lie. But I don't need one drink just to tell the truth. I could use you using me.
Cool. You're watching the Nashville Access Facebook show with Camo and Justin Biltonen. You've got your solo career going, but you're with 3 Doors Down as well. How does the band react to everybody having side projects?
They're totally cool.
Yeah.
They're supportive, and
That's good.
it's never a problem.
Yeah, that's good.
I like to try to keep everything, separated whenever we're on the road and stuff. I don't bring it up a bunch. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
I just got to do my thing, and
We're only mentioning it here for people that don't know.
no, I'm super proud of both
Yeah.
things. So, I think they're proud of me doing it too.
Yeah.
Getting out and play a lot by myself,
And that makes you a better person in a band situation as well when you understand both sides. Of
Yeah. Take the ego out of it. No jealousy. You're not going to be fighting over songs or something. You just got to be mutually supportive of each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's not just in the band that I'm in, but also in the community of Nashville. I see that a lot. A lot of friends show up to your shows, they share your songs, and I think that's really important. I think that's kind of one of the draws of Nashville.
Yeah, I interviewed Cyndi Lauper a while ago, and she was saying, the New York and LA scene, as far as being musical communities, they're gone.
Yeah.
Nashville is kind of the only place left where it's like it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Austin's got a good scene, but the community isn't the same.
Yeah.
Same as here.
It's definitely something special here.
Are there any people that you look up to that are giving you advice on your career?
Yeah, Brad and Chris in the band for sure.
Yeah.
And then a lot of my other friends that are doing stuff slightly above the level that I'm doing.
Yeah.
So the guys in the Dares around, I ask them a lot of questions about stuff they're doing, and my buddy Darren, he's been working in the industry for a long time, and he's helped quite a bit. Just a lot of advice on how to navigate the new world of social media, music
It's a tough
stuff.
It's so tough out there for new artists that are trying to break through and just cut through the clutter of everything that's out there. And when I say clutter, I don't mean, it's bad. It's just, there's so much music. And
Clutter's a pretty good way to put it. It's just because social media's been this huge tool for everybody, but it's also everybody can be on it. So you can, there's not really a filter anymore of like, oh, this is good, this is bad, which is great for a lot of artists because they get discovered when they probably wouldn't have if it was just up to labels.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just tons and tons of artists and a lot of really good people out there that are constantly putting out music. So
It's kind of going back to the way it was in the 50s and 60s, where it was all single driven. And so that's what people are putting out there.
Yeah.
It's really, you know, independent artists that are getting funding or have saved so much money that they can go out and cut an album. But big artists are putting them out. But for other artists, it's just single and it's single and single. And
I think technology's caught up too, to where you can record an amazing sounding song on a computer with. You don't need the big room. You don't need the,
but it's still
the
cool,
big budget. Oh yeah. There's definitely a difference. Don't get me wrong. There's a difference, but you can put out music that sounds good for a fraction of the price that you used to have to get everybody into a recording studio. And I think you're seeing with a lot of artists taking advantage of that, just doing singles where they can save $1,000 or whatever and put out a song every 5-6 months instead of save a ton of money, put out an EP.
They're only going to end up selling at the merch table.
Yeah. And a big thing too, I think, is people's attention spans.
Yeah.
So even if you put out like this 15-song concept album that you worked on for 2 years, I guarantee within 2 or 3 months of putting it out, there's gonna be people, when you put out new music, man?
Yeah.
When's new music coming out? And you're like, I just spent this was my life's work. And
well, even with the bigger artists, nobody's staying at number one. You used to get people that would stay at number one for weeks and weeks. Not anymore. The attention span just drops right off. Yeah, that's a great song, and 15 minutes later, it's like, now what are you gonna do for me?
Here's another great song for something.
Yeah.
It's definitely changed the game in positive and negative ways.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of it's positive for young and up and coming artists.
Yeah, it's whether it's positive or negative, it's different. It's just a whole new world that you're stepping into.
Absolutely.
You want to do another song?
Sure.
Cool. You got a new single out.
Yeah. Just put this out on Tuesday, and wrote it with my friend Alyssa Traden and Matt Wynn. I wrote with him quite a few times. He's an awesome singer, and Alyssa's awesome too. They're both doing their own solo careers, but they also write. So that's another big thing that I love about Nashville is like everybody co-writes, and I think it really helps the songs.
Yeah, it gets out of hand. I think. What was it? I saw. Well, there was a Thomas Rhett song that came out and had 11 writers on it.
Starting to turn into a pop song.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is probably a pop song. But yeah, so wrote this song. It's called "Runaway."
It's a good song. I really like it.
Thank you. It's about how you can't stop young love. So here you go.
They're headed down that interstate, and they won't be back tonight. 'Cause that dead-end town's just time to waste, so they follow those headlights. She wasn't raised in money, from the wrong end of the tracks. He had a big bright future, a 3A quarterback. She worked the diner Friday nights, and he would get there after the game. Late night coffee conversations, they were planning their escape. They're headed down that interstate, and they won't be back tonight. 'Cause that dead-end town's just time to waste, so they follow those headlights. Red wine roses, all they know is love that just feels right. 4 wheels turning, 2 hearts burning, gone and don't think twice. They're gonna run away tonight. Well, his daddy called him crazy, said, boy, you lost your mind. Find you a good girl and marry. You know she ain't that kind. nothing left on that front door. Said love is all we need. Now they're breaking free, and they're headed down that interstate. They won't be back tonight, 'cause that dead-end town's just time to waste. They follow those headlights. Red wine roses, all they know is love that just feels right. Four wheels turn, two hearts burning, gone and don't think twice. They're gonna run away tonight. They were so in love, young and wild, caught up in a dream. They left the whole town talking, wondering where they could be. And they're headed down that interstate, and they won't be back tonight, 'cause that dead-end town's just time to waste. So they follow those headlights. Red wine roses, all they know is love that just feels right. Four wheels turning, two hearts burning, gone and don't think twice. They're gonna run away tonight. They're gonna run away tonight. Oh yeah, they're gonna run. Oh yeah, they're gonna run.
Very good. I like that song a lot.
I like that one too.
Yeah, great lyrics.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's one thing I've noticed listening to your stuff is the lyrics are really strong, and
Thank you.
so you're a good writer.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So what have you got planned for the summer?
In between Three Door shows, I've got a couple of my own coming up.
Plug them wherever.
Yeah,
where you're gonna be.
June 27th, I'm playing Whiskey Jam. That'll be my first time with a full band, which I'm really excited about. And got my friends, Josh Ramey plays drums, awesome drummer. He's playing with a bunch of up-and-coming artists all over town. But then my friend Brian Craddock and Josh Paul, they play for Daughtry.
Yeah.
And I met them on my first tour that we did in the States
Yeah.
when I joined the band, and we've been friends ever since. And
Good friends.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're just incredible musicians. I'm so excited that they're like here and want them to do it. So it'll be fun. I'm excited to do that. And then playing today in Nashville, July 16th.
Oh, excellent. Good.
And
We can
then,
watch that.
yeah, working on everything else.
Come back again.
Yeah,
It's been a pleasure having you.
yeah, it was a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Really dig the music. Justin Biltonen, check him out on iTunes and everywhere else you get your music. And of course, can't go without plugging the band.
Yeah,
Follow Three Doors.
Yeah.
See him on bass.
be all over the place.
That's right. Thanks, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a good day, and we'll catch you next time.
Awesome.
Thanks for watching the Nashville Access Facebook show with Camo and my special guest Jason Biltonen. And make sure you go and buy his stuff. Stream it 2 million times so he'll get a $5 check. And don't forget to watch me or listen to me every Saturday afternoon from 3 to 7 on Hippie Radio here in Nashville, every Sunday at midday on Chris Country across the UK, and every Thursday morning with Jody Crosby and John Wolfe on Tamworth Radio 88.9 FM. See you next time.